Hey traders, this is Cousin Vinny coming to you on December the 22nd, Thursday before Christmas, with probably my last video until after I arrive back in town on January the 3rd. Be out of town in Myrtle Beach visiting in-laws, so let's make this a good one. With the ES, we've been using this upper trend line as a point of reference over or since July, and we remember that all of these times that we tested this upper trend line, we got rejected. In this particular case, it was on Euro News, and it's been pretty formidable. Okay, we did close above a few weeks back, and we promptly got rejected and pushed back down. But what we do have is higher lows. Okay, if these pivots continue to move higher, and what we need is a higher high. Okay, so that we can basically get us a trend that starts to ascend, something along these lines. Okay, but for the time being, we only have higher lows. Okay, so looking at Dave's charts the past 2 days, you notice that he was taking excuse me, the pivots off of this low here, and he was going to this high right at this point at the 1237 level, I believe. And with that in mind, we had the 127 extension. I think he uses the 236 extension. Let me change that. He uses the 236 extension. I sometimes use the 27, but we can see the point. The point is that we got through this candle here. We moved through the 100% level, or the highs, and tagged the 236. So depending on the momentum on this move through this upper trend line, we could see the 618 extension, which is what I'm targeting, 1263 to 1266, just because I'm looking at this high over here too. Okay, so keep that in mind. RSI is moving up, but it has moved sideways today. Being a lagging indicator, I'm not so concerned about that because we did move off the lows. Okay, so say we did make it up to the 618, then if we took some fibs here and ran up to that level, we could conceivably see a move back down to the 382, okay, which would be a little higher than this current trend line. But we would have close to a new higher high. Alright, so that's what I'm looking for. I'd like to see it get up to 1266 to give us that higher high. Now, after hours, we are trading very close to, well, actually we're at the 12. We hit the 1258. 1256. Okay, so we're only 10 handles away from that target. Alright, with stochastics overbought. So, I like to look at the 4-hour chart to give me a sense of the continuation of that trend. Here is our trend line that we've been watching. And you can see this breakout of this descending wedge had a nice move. Okay, So here are those extensions again, but I'm using this high on the 4-hour chart and this low at 1195.50. So note that the 1618 extension is a bit higher. So we were looking at the hourly before, and we can see the strength of this move is pretty substantial. And we continue to move higher. As long as we stay within the 20 MA and the upper Bollinger Band, I can see this trend continuing higher. Okay, until we break down below this 20, I'm not changing my thought process. So if this 20 continues to move up and price continues to move up, then I can see that we're going to definitely hit that 1266, or anticipate the 1266. If we start to see a candle that moves down through the 20 MA and gets outside of these two, this Bollinger Band channel with the 20 MA, then I would reconsider that premise, at least temporarily. So let's look at the spiders. I was pointing out this gap here back on January 9th, that Friday, where we gapped down on the Monday, and we've traded down since. Well, 125.92 is the low of that Friday the 9th, and would be a gap fill on this move back up. Note that on the hourly chart, Bollinger Bands are starting to spread. All the EMAs are below, and everything is rising except for the 200. Okay, so that's the 60-minute. On the daily, we can just, the 200 period is pretty flat for the most part, and typically what you do with a flat 200 MAs, you trade the upper and the lower Bollinger Bands. You can see we didn't get up to the upper one only because we were rejected by the 200 period. Same case with that trend line that we have on the ES from July. Okay, so that's held us back for now. But we do have our higher lows, and we do have the stochastics turning up, so we do have some momentum, a possibility for this to move higher into the overbought territory and make a move higher above the 200 period. So that's what I'm watching for on the spiders. Also on the spiders, you can note that we've traded in this range right here, and we broke above that, and then we came back down a little bit, and we traded in this range, and it looks like we might step out and move a little bit higher from a bullish standpoint. Now Nathan and others that are short in the room will be looking at this from a different perspective, as this being a double or triple top, or a multiple top here, and the resistance here at this level of previous support. Okay, so keep that in mind. That's right at the 126 level. Okay, 127. I'm also trading the Russell, and I'll be watching this closely going into the new year for a tell with regard to the risk on trade, and whether or not we can anticipate to move a little bit higher on the spiders as well. This is something I learned from another trader. Remember, you can always learn from other people, so keep an open mind. This one I learned from GTO, a trader that used to be with the site here, that moved on and did his own thing, but he talks about volume at price, what he calls the vacuum. Okay, when you get above a certain price level, okay, you can see the lack of volume here, okay, compared to the level here where this volume that traded at price was much greater at this level. And now that we're moving above this level here, we can anticipate moving into this vacuum, okay, until we hit the next level of resistance, or the major volume okay, at that level, which is up at the 79.80 level. Okay, so that's why I'm trading the IWM, the Russell 2000 long. I have a pretty substantial position, if you guys have been following me in the room, in my 401k, and selling premium against that. Okay, note that the 200 period is up here as well, but I fully anticipate that this vacuum will play out and that we're going to hit the 200 and more than likely find some resistance there, as well as this previous area of support. So I'm looking at that level as a level I'll probably take some profits. Okay, the 79, 70, 77, 78 level on the IWM. Okay, note that stochastics is continuing to move higher, and the 50 period is starting to move through the other averages. All right, so that's what I'm looking at. The only trade I have on right now is IWM, and for the most part I'm flat into the holidays, going down to Myrtle Beach, visit the in-laws. So this is me wishing you a happy holidays and a Merry Christmas, and we'll see you in the room after the holidays. I'll more than likely stick my head in every once in a while via the chat room while I'm on holiday. So take care, and we'll talk to you later.